G'day folks, it's Cortezerino. I have a theory. Now I've had theories before. One especially good one was that with razor blades, you know how you get all the new different kinds of razor blades coming out? They're always coming up with new and ingenious little 3, 4, 100 blade razor blades to get more money out of you. And I think the reason that they always bring out new blades is because they've come up with a new advancement in technology to make them go blunter, faster. So you have to buy more blades. That's one theory, but the theory we are talking about today is to do with these blocks. Now, because I'm building in Persia, I want to use a lot of this glazed terracotta, which is traditionally a block that I haven't used very much of. I mean, I've used it here in the ISF because I was trying to make it look like the actual building, but it's really good. It has all the patterns in it, which is absolutely perfect for Persian buildings. But how do you use it without it looking terrible? And the way I've used it here in this building gave me an idea, because I think that that golden glazed terracotta up the top looks awesome, and there's a reason that looks good. At least I think there's a reason that it looks good. So first thing that I've learnt from other people is glazed terracotta tends not to look very good if it's at the same level as other blocks. So you sort of want to either set it back a block or have something in between just to make it stand out a little bit like that. So that straight away looks better. But the tendency is, because it, like usually in Minecraft you like to build in odd numbers, but whenever you get an even number you go, oh yeah, I'll use glazed terracotta, because you always want to use two together. So we tend to put them in these straight little boxes like that and go, haha, there's my decoration. And yeah, I don't know, it looks forced. But my theory is, this is a very fluid block. We've got patterns going all over the place and all different kinds of patterns. So I mucked that up, doesn't matter. So my theory is, why would you put a fluid block like this in such a regimental shape? Wouldn't it look better in a fluid shape? Now this is probably one of those things that I should have tested before I started recording, so it's okay. I can just scrap this intro completely if this doesn't work out. So rather than a box, let's try and do something of a different design. I feel the scrapping of the intro is drawing closer. No, that's not too bad. I think I'm getting there, but maybe this won't work so well in the floor. If I put it on a wall, it'll be harder to place these terracotta blocks to get the patterns, but then I can bring slabs and stairs into the picture. Alright, it's entirely possible that I am wasting everyone's time here, yours and mine. Maybe that's okay, maybe it's not, but I think this one actually does have some merit for something. So maybe we can apply this to the floor in the hanging gardens. So this is where we left off last episode. I was building this top section, and you can see it's a bit of a mess up there because this is kind of how I build. I build it one way, and then I spend ages trying to fix it up and make it look good, and then I realised there's just something wrong with the whole design. So I had it like, let's go around this side. So I had it like this, and it just wasn't looking quite right. There was something wrong, and I think it was just having this big straight up bit right here. So now what I'm doing is I'm tearing bits down, and I'm going to try it, setting that back just a touch. And I don't know if I'm going to have much of a ceiling on here. I kind of want to keep it all open, so I'm trying some bushes in the ceiling there. But yes, it needs something, so I want to try and get some of this glazed terracotta into the floor here. And what have I got underneath? Cool, I've got my half slabs underneath. Now this hanging gardens has used way more sandstone than you would actually think. Because usually when you do a floor like this, you would use half slabs of sandstone to save I can't even talk, to save sandstone, you would use the half slabs. But ever since 1.13, I've found whenever I've got a floor like that, for some reason, maybe I want to create a water source block or something, I'll place the water down on the floor and it'll vanish. I'm like, what's happened? And all I've done is I've waterlogged the slab and now water is running below, usually under my redstone. So everywhere in the hanging gardens I've used full blocks of sandstone. Now I have to think up some sort of, maybe I'll do the pattern in these edges here. I'm not quite sure yet. And it could look disastrous. And you've always got to be careful when you've got 4 sections and you're trying to do curvy sort of patterns that you don't inadvertently make a swastika. I've seen it happen. I've never done it. Cortez is way too clever for that, but I have seen it happen. So we have to be wary of that as well. Anyway, I'm going to try this out. Okay, I made a bit of a mess. But that's okay, I went and cleaned it up again. Turns out this little spot up the top here is not really big enough for me to do anything interesting with the glazed terracotta. So I tried it outside here on these big flat areas where I've got absolutely nothing. I put 2 long things of patterns with the glazed terracotta and it didn't look right. I think it may be an indoors block. Yeah, it wasn't suiting this build. So I think what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to force it into a build that it wasn't built for. So I kind of abandoned that. But I did find out something. When you're doing it in the floor, it does look okay actually if you just have the block level with all the other blocks around it. You don't need what I was doing before, a little border around it. Although I think that does still look better when you have it on a wall. But I discovered something cool about glazed terracotta when I was playing around with all this. So it turns out that glazed terracotta blocks, the different kind of blocks, sort of join together. I mean, look at this corner. That is pretty cool. And when you're up close, it looks a little bit funky, but when you go out a bit, that looks pretty good. So I didn't design this. I found a picture of this on Google Images, and I built it just to have a play. And there's another one over here. How cool is that? So that is another thing we can do. So I started mucking around, trying to find blocks that go well together, and I liked these ones, the lime green and the yellow. So I played around with those designs, and then I started playing around. And this is the kind of pattern that I was trying to put inside the hanging gardens. But yeah, it didn't quite fit. I think if I'm going to do this, I need to put it in its own building. And look at it. How cool would that be for a pattern on the floor for a diagonal sort of hallway? I reckon that'd look awesome. So I've got lots and lots of patterns around. What else have I done? Did a few of these. I reckon these would be cool little features just to throw down the floor somewhere. And, oh yes, I also came up with this one. This one's pretty good. We might actually try and find a spot for it. Not sure. But we are going to try something with this. But yeah, I think I need to build something new to have a crack at that. But you might notice I've got all this redstone in my inventory here because I got distracted. I know I keep saying that we are not starting any more projects, but I had an idea after doing my time-lapse of the Elven ship. I had an idea for a redstone minigame. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it yet. Maybe battleships. And I'm not sure of the rules or the redstone yet. But my idea was that you have 2 ships facing off against each other. And it may be a PvP game or it may be a single-player game. I'm not sure. But I'll describe it as if it's going to be a PvP game. So one person is on this ship. One person is on the ship over there, or you could even have teams, and you're just firing arrows back and forth at each other. But what will also happen is every now and then a cannon will appear on the side of the ship, and I'll show you the cannon. Boom! The cannon pushes out of the little porthole, and you've only got a limited amount of time to shoot the enemy's cannon, or shoot the guy operating the cannon. I don't know what you'd call it, but you shoot the cannon Otherwise, it will fire a shot at you and 3 hits of your boat and you are dead. So you've got to keep an eye on the cannons, keep shooting them, and keep shooting your opponent. And if you can keep hitting your opponent and knocking him back while knocking out his cannons, maybe one of your cannons will get a shot in. It could be a cool little PvP arena, but maybe I'll do 2 versions, try and set one up as a minigame. So this is all I've got so far. We launch the minecart, it gets pushed out, so that's the cannon shooting out. And so far for the release of, like, to drop this, if they take too long and they don't shoot it, we want to drop the minecart and it'll trigger something to say, yes, we've shot you. At the moment, I'm just opening that trapdoor to drop him down. But I'm not sure if I like that. We might want to go for a double piston extender. So if it's there for a certain amount of time, it gets pushed out again. But I'm not sure. Like that kind of works, I think. Have we got any more minecarts left? I don't. Anyway. We're not going to continue on this episode. I think I'll keep playing around with the redstone and have a think. But that is something to look forward to, guys. A new redstone minigame from Cortez. We are not abandoning the glazed terracotta just yet, guys. Even though I've had nothing but failure so far, we are not going to stop until I find somewhere in Persia to build something new with it and make it actually look good. So I don't think I'm going to build a whole new building and then try and put it in the floor. Like I know I said, it's probably an inside block. I'm determined to find somewhere on the outside where I can put it in amongst my sandstone and make it look good. And I think I want to do it on that big flat area in front of the Hagia Sophia. So there is a thing in Persia called the Homer bird or Humor bird, something like that. It's like a mythical griffin, and there are a lot of statues in real life of this bird. So I think I want to do a great big Homer bird statue in the middle of this big space here. And maybe it would be cool if I could get glazed terracotta into the statue. That'd be interesting, but I also want to try and put glazed terracotta somewhere on the ground here and make it look good. So that means I have to design a statue, which I'm not sure if yes, I have done and I have done statues of birds before. And I built that on a diagonal. So maybe that's the way to do it. Try and build this statue on a diagonal. Don't know. We'll figure it out. But that's the plan, guys. We're going to attempt this, and we could be back with me saying that I've made another mess. It's always the little details that cause me the biggest headaches. Trying to figure out what to put in this big flat area I've got here. But as you can see, I've actually built something. I haven't made a mess, and I have used glazed terracotta. So that is looking pretty cool, I think. So I didn't end up putting it in the ground. I've almost completely decided that it just does not look good outside. It has to be inside a building. Or not. I mean, prove me wrong. You can build something and prove me wrong. But yeah, I've chucked it in the wings there. It looks like feathers, and I've set it back 1 block from the blocks on the outside, because I think that always looks better. And I haven't filled in the center, and I think I kind of prefer it this way. We'll leave it this way for the time being, and we'll see how we go. So I've got 2 of these birds. Now, I'm not very good at building things from scratch. Like, I knew I wanted to build a bird, but I kind of need something to work with before I start. So there is another YouTuber called Megray, who I know who's very, very good at building statues. So what I did is I stole one of her designs. I followed her tutorial, I built her phoenix statue. I built the body of her phoenix. I'll put the link in the description below so you can check it out. So I built the body of her phoenix, and then I just took it from there and started changing things. And I came up with this very, very quickly. Now the wings on hers stretch out to the sides, but I know from looking at a lot of Persian carvings and sculptures that often the wings on theirs go straight back. So that's what I did, and then I thought, well, I could just put 2 of these back to back and make a big archway. So I think it's looking good. I didn't build it out of sandstone because too much sandstone makes my brain go numb, and I figured, well, I've got all the stone in the Hagia Sophia over here. It'd look pretty good to stretch out the greyness out to here, but yeah, I didn't do something with the bottom. It's not looking very flash right now, and that's pretty horrible. So in the meantime, I'm going to fix this up, but I want to try one more project with the glazed terracotta, and I want to do it right here because I've got this little pathway leading to nowhere, and I want to put a Persian bridge here, and I want to do the same kind of thing I did there with a different glazed terracotta block this time, and put some patterns in the side of the bridge. So that is the plan. That is what we are doing now. Bear with me for just a second, guys. I am getting distracted again. Alright, so you can put the cocoa beans on the jungle wood, but can you... Yes, you can! You can. Okay, and I guess you can place it on there. Okay. That is the ugliest piece of what do you call this? Let's quickly check what you're called. Stripped wood. This is the ugliest piece of stripped wood you can get. But that is another building option, which we're not going to do right now. I just had the thought and I wanted to come down here and see if you could do it. Okay, you can put your jungle beans on... now I'm getting more ideas. Could you ever do this? Could you ever put it on planks? No, you couldn't. But you can put it on the stripped wood. That's pretty cool. So the bridge is done, and you may be thinking, well, that is not a very interesting bridge, Cortez, but it is very Persian with the little arch there in the middle, and I wanted to leave a bit of a gap in there so little boats could get in and out. But I'm not sure about this, but that is the glazed terracotta. That looked horrible. Let's get down a little bit further. I wanted to try something different again, so I've just mixed in a few different ones. And like I said before, when you get up close to the glazed terracotta, it doesn't look that good. But from a distance, that is a million times better. And yeah, I'm not 100% sold on it, but it's we're just experimenting here today. So this makes me think though, because when you look at it up close, it doesn't look that flash, but from way back it looks awesome. Perhaps the best place to use glazed terracotta is in ceilings. That might be. And I've cleaned up there, but you know what? Let's switch into shaders to have a look at this, because Persia always looks much better in shaders. So the hanging gardens always look so beautiful in the shaders. Absolutely love it. Makes me want to play in them all the time. And look at this, this was just an episode about experimenting with glazed terracotta. But we have done quite a bit of building here. And look at all these squid. They kind of ruin the look of the place, but this sort of makes me want to build a squid farm down here. They love this area and they keep dying on these stairs down here. They keep swimming up on it and, getting out of the water and dying. So I'm thinking about putting some hoppers under there just to passively collect all their ink sacs. But yes, I think we have done a pretty good job this episode. This is what I've done for the decorations down here. You can't really see it too well in the shaders because the water's see-through for some reason. But I've just put in 4 fountains and a few bushes with some hidden lighting underneath. Man, these statues do look really cool in the shaders. I'm very, very happy. Alrighty guys, we're going to leave it here for today. I tried to do as many crazy things I could think of with glazed terracotta, and pretty much only did 2 things. Put a few blocks in that bridge and did the statue. But trust me, I placed a lot of blocks here in the hanging gardens and then tore them all up because it looked awful. But if you know any other cool things you can do that have worked for you, let me know. I want to try them out. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm Cortezerino. I'll see you later.